Stevens of Reading Rowing Club, and north of Stratford-upon-Avon. And it's Stevens who's gone straight off from the start, taken 3/4 of a length off north as they're halfway up the island. And nice, sensible steering here from both scullers. So,
now, what I would say with these two crews is actually Stratford-upon-Avon North finished 8th in the A final of the Championship Girls Single Sculls at the National Schools Regatta, while Stevens of Reading actually finished 6th in the B final of the National Schools Regatta. So this is a bit of a turn up for the form books. If you do follow the junior rowing circuit, you will probably know these two scullers quite well, but it is the sculler from Reading Rowing Club who is looking the more convincing of the two at the moment.
well, this could be Plan B again.
Yeah,
You're up against someone who is on form quicker than you, and you've got to get away fast and hope you can sit on it.
Plan B seems to be working. I mean, that's one hell of a Plan B if it is a Plan B.
That's a Plan B and C, isn't it? Look, she's taken a terrific lead. This is well against the form book, but
That's 2 lengths. And I think the Stratford-upon-Avon sculler north, he's having a little look over her shoulder, which is never a good sign at this stage of the race. I mean, you're only 500 metres in,
yeah,
and already you're chasing shadows. And that Reading sculler, if she continues the way she's going, she's going to win by the proverbial mile, I think.
she is strong, isn't she? And she's already got a considerable lead.
Yes.
Yeah.
A single scull boat length, I'd probably call that 3 lengths. Got to be 2-3 lengths of clear water.
She's got 3.5 lengths. I mean, with a single scull, it's not always the end of the world, but as Sir Steve said, I mean, this is the ultimate psychological thing.
Yeah, ultimate discipline.
Yes, he put it rather better than psychological thing, I think.
His phrasing might have been a little more eloquent.
Yeah, we know that. We do these things to the language at Oxford, but I mean, it is.
It is the ultimate discipline, absolutely.
So much of sculling takes place above the neck.
Gladiatorial. Certainly single sculling, yeah. In a boat like this with no one else, and there's no one else to blame if it goes wrong. And that is going to be Reading Rowing Club, I think, comfortably progressing through to the semi-finals of the junior single sculls. So we'll head straight back to the start for our second quarter-final, race 2:06 between Agecroft Lee on the Berkshire station, I almost did it again, and Cambridge 99 Watson on the Buckinghamshire station. This Agecroft sculler, Lee finished 4th at the National Schools Regatta, so just missed out on a medal. Just under 2 seconds to the Putney High School sculler, who we'll see later on this evening. But at the moment, I think it is Agecroft with the slight lead as they leave the shelter of the island.
I'm trying to remember the name of the sculler that Steve Redgrave just reduced to pulp in the Diamonds. The man actually stopped sculling. He just gave up round about the hole in the wall.
Oh, wow.
Steve Redgrave
Martin
had been
Unsworth, was it?
playing with him. What?
Martin Unsworth, was it?
No, it wasn't.
Well, as they come down towards us by the Temple Meadows. Oh, do you know what? It's a close one.
It is.
It is Agecroft just in the lead there, probably half a length. But it's a bit of a ding-dong, this one. Maybe half a length was probably a bit unfair to the Agecroft sculler. She's got a length. She's just trying to break that elastic band at this stage.
She's got a length.
Yeah, I've got to say.
She's looking better.
She is. I always, it's a pet hate of mine, people who bend their arms at the catch, and unfortunately that Agecroft sculler Lee, she is the arms bend immediately, taking the blade, when the blade connects to the water, and that is
she's very short in the water, and
costing you energy.
She's not really making full use of the boat.
No. Not the most pragmatic style, but it seems to be working. As Jürgen Grobler once said, rowing is not dressage. You don't have to look pretty, you just have to cross the line first. And this Atroff sculler is proving all the doubters wrong at this stage. She's still leading by a length ahead of Cambridge 99.
She's going to have to move over a bit.
Absolutely, yeah. I think she's already been warned once for her steering. And what is worth remembering, if you are listening to this coverage of the Henley Women's Regatta, is that single sculling race, it can turn on a head like that. I mean, literally instantaneously. It's all about momentum in these smaller boats. And as Robin said, it is 95% above the neck. It's a big, big mental game. And although the Atroff sculler is not looking at her most efficient, it will be difficult for the Cambridge sculler to come back because she can no longer see, hear or smell the Atroff sculler, which is going to prove a tough challenge.
Well, this is interesting. I didn't know that scullers had found smell so important. But Watson is simply not moving the boat as fast as she could. But even so, she doesn't look terrific, but she is still staying in touch. So, it's not dressage. And if the boat's moving, fine. But I really think that at the moment, Lee has got the edge over her, the Atroff sculler, because she is simply just sculling with more ease and rhythm and flow. And of course, she can see her opponent.
Absolutely, I think she's continuing to stretch out, I have to say, as they come past our little commentary gantry. Nestled underneath the commentary tower, I think that must be 3 lengths now to Lee from Agecroft.
Yeah.
So I think we'll probably head back down to the start for the third quarter-final of today's junior single sculls, race 207. Putney High, Emma Andrews on the Berkshire station, and Reading Rowing Club Blackett on the Buckinghamshire station. Emma Andrews, know her quite well, Putney girl, and she finished third at the National Schools Regatta, so lots of form for her. She's vying for GB qualification, but not the best start there for her at all. The Reading sculler, Blackett, just jumped out of the blocks there. GB start athlete herself, so she knows what it takes to compete at the top level, and she left Emma behind there.
She did. She there was no question of, there was nothing unfair about it. She just went off the start very much quicker. And where are we? And Andrews actually was a bit over on her station, and I think she lost a bit of way because of that. But she is coming back.
Well, I have to say, it would be an upset for the form books if Blackett were to trump Emma Andrews from Putney High School. Obviously.
Well, there's still a long way to go. But Emma Andrews is having trouble with her steering again, and is attracting the attention of the umpire.
I have to say, it is a tough ask to steer a straight course in the single scull, especially if you're trying to put optimum power down. You have to worry about steering conditions, all these little things. And for Emma, she has to worry about
she has to worry about being shoulder. Half a length down too.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Reading sculler, I mean, that looks like half a length now, but I think Emma Andrews is slowly clawing back that deficit.
Back,
She's going to need an impressive second half, though, to defeat the Reading sculler, who, as I said, is an established athlete in her own right. She is a GB start sculler, so expect a strong second half from her too. And as they come past our little side-on camera, I think it is Emma who has the momentum. Emma Andrews of Putney High School on the Berkshire station. I think she's just about to move through.
Edge, yeah. Well, as you say, on the form book, she should.
Shea Blackett, just remembered her first name, the sculler from Reading. I thought it was unfair to be calling Emma by her first name and not Shea. So Shea Blackett, who finished 9th at the February GB trials for junior 18 women. So a very strong performance from her. And she was one of 2 Reading Rowing Club scullers in the top 10 there. So impressive achievement from Miss Blackett of Reading Rowing Club. But unfortunately, it looks like Emma Andrews is the sculler with the momentum at this stage, despite the excellent start from Reading. It's Putney High School who now lead. It's unsure as to how far that is. But
Not by a lot. Not by a lot. It's. I think this is going to be a real race. Well, as you say, you got 2 good class scullers here. It's true. Emma Andrews has got the lead now. What do you think? Half a length?
Oh, I think it's a little more than that.
More than that, yeah. I don't know.
She might have broken clear.
I can never tell. Look at the blades, but.
It's that easy, isn't it, though, in a single scull for the race to turn on its head. Remarkable, really.
But she has
clear water.
She has clear water. You're quite right.
A little look over her shoulder. I mean, even as you watch Emma come down, of course. Yeah, absolutely. It's still a race, but if you watch Emma come down, of course, she hasn't actually probably got the most efficient style either. You know, perhaps a little more aesthetically pleasing than the last sculler we saw. But we'll head back up to the start now. I think that was probably going to be a win for Emma Andrews. We'll head back up to the start for our last quarter-final of the junior women's single sculls, with Wallingford Rowing Club on the Berkshire station and Winnipeg Rowing Club from Canada on the Buckinghamshire station. So international representation here in our last quarter-final of the junior single sculls. It's our 5th final race here on the Saturday of the Henley Women's Regatta. We've got a full programme and all the finals to come tomorrow, so make sure you tune in from 8:30 a.m. tomorrow, British time. But if you are joining us from Canada to support Gray of Winnipeg Rowing Club, welcome. It's a pleasure to have you listening and watching in. And we wish your sculler good luck out there on the Buck station. Let's see how she gets on up against Wallingford Rowing Club.
Well, at the moment, it's Wallingford. Now, the umpire's just got the flag out, and it would take you, if you were able to walk on water, about half an hour to walk between the 2 boats. I'm not quite sure why.
No. There's a considerable distance between them, isn't there? I have to say.
Unless it was a helpful bit of coaching to say that you are just about to bang the booms with your bowside blade, but it's...
I have to say, it's the sculler from Canada.
Yeah.
Winnipeg Rowing Club, who has the advantage here around a length. Yeah, that's about a length. So the trip so far was not in vain.
No, indeed.
I actually scored this Wallingford sculler earlier in the day, and she looked really, really impressive. I have to say, I earmarked her as potentially someone who could upset the form book, because she's not on my research list as being someone to watch out for, but trying her best to upset that.
Poor girl, fancy not being on your list.
Shocking, isn't it, really?
I never write off anyone from Wallingford, because that's a club which produces success all the time.
Absolutely. But it's going to take...
There's the finish of the previous race, which Stevens of Reading, I think, has just won. I think.
What?
I don't mean Stevens, I mean Andrews of Putney High.
If you do want to see any of the results from today's racing, head to www.hwr.regattaresults.co.uk. See a full conclusive roundup of all the day's racing. Obviously, it's a struggle for us here in the commentary gantry. We can only see what comes past us and what's on our television monitors. And at the moment, it is the race developing between Gray of Winnipeg Rowing Club on the Buck station and Wallingford Rowing Club Fry on the Burke station.
Or even Berks.
Berks. Box, it's still the same, really. Don't tell us, Steve, I said that.
He's monitoring all broadcasts, He has a...
The Gestapo.
The Leander Stasi sitting in a back office.
Well, it's the Winnipeg Scully who's stretched right out now, isn't it?
Yep.
I have to say, that's 3 or 4 lengths. Really strong second half from her. Powerful performance. She's just coming past our commentary gantry, and look at that. She looks impressive. Don't discount her later on in the racing, I have to say. She looks like a force to be reckoned with.
Now, I have to confess that I could do this with quite a lot of cities, but I'm not sure that if you gave me a map of Canada, I could put my finger down on where Winnipeg is.
No, I have to say my geography is good enough, but not good enough to place that. I hadn't heard of them until I did a bit of reading up on the cruise before this event.
I mean, I can find you sort of Montreal, Ontario, Toronto, Vancouver.
Stop shouting.
I mean, Ontario is a province rather than a town, but
there you go. Who'd have thought it? You get geography lessons here on the Henley Women's Regatta video
it is,
feed. None other than Robin.
All human life is here.
Well, I think it is going to be the Sculler from Winnipeg.
Yeah.
Moving away comfortably there. I think she's probably taken her rate down. She can afford to relax a little bit. She comes down the course. And so I think we might as well head back up to the start to see what's going on up there for race 209, the first quarterfinal, the first